Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gathering Thunder Foundation podcast. It is that time of the year where we get together and we talk about what's happened in the past year and what we're looking forward to in the coming year. So before I get too far ahead of myself, I would like to introduce you all to the director of our board of directors, Ms. Lillian Cosme from the East Coast. Lily, how are you?
Good, Dana. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It takes a team at Gathering Thunder to make things happen. And having a director of the board of directors is so important because she keeps us all on task. And that's just one of the things that Lillian does, aside from her 9-to-5 job, which is very busy. So thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me here.
Yes, absolutely.
So Lily, looking back to 2022, we really had quite a year at Gathering Thunder. What are some of the highlights for you?
Oh my goodness. Where do we begin? I think for me, I've always shared this, but I love that we, are starting to do so many different types of outreach efforts now across the country and in just different areas. But my heart is always at the end of the year, during the holiday season. So I would say that I really love the outreach efforts we did and the community, Gathering Thunder community, and raising, blankets and gathering all these lovely items for the elders this year.
I'm with you. I love when winter hits. And whether they're called Christmas parties or holiday parties or winter gatherings, there are so many gatherings that happen at the end of the year. And that's really where Gathering Thunder kicks into high speed with making sure that the elders have blankets and hats and mittens. And this year we were once again so blessed to be able to help the Dina elders of the Navajo Nation reservation out in New Mexico. And a great big shout out to our tribal liaison and my niece, Dawn Milapashne Teller, for being the go-between between Gathering Thunder. We are housed here in Michigan, in the United States, for those of you that are listening from other countries. And so we have liaisons out in other tribal territories, locally as well as way out west. And so we were able to assist many of the elderlies of the Navajo Nation, the Diné people, with some beautiful blankets and hats and mittens. And it's always a good feeling to be able to assist. And here locally with the Anishinaabe elders here in West Michigan, that's always a favorite, isn't it, Lily?
Oh my goodness, yes. If anybody hasn't been there, I would highly recommend going to any of our social media pages, whether that's Instagram or Facebook, and connect with us there because, Dana, you do such a good job of posting, all the latest updates and the pictures and, just seeing that joy that comes through the screen,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Anishinaabe Circle was able to assist with the youth at the Native American Education Program in having their year-end winter party here in West Michigan, and Gathering Thunder was happy to be a sponsor of that I have lost track of the number of years that we have been assisting the Native American Education Program with the youth end-of-year winter party, but it's been many years. And Lily, you've been here in Michigan for that event.
Oh, yes. That was pre-COVID. That was like the highlight, of the year. Seeing those little faces, I give us credit, and these are changing times and we're adapting with the times. So I'm just so happy we're able to help the kids still.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. It is a highlight of the year. And again, with the Elder Meals and Holiday Gathering in Grand Rapids, great big shout out goes to Rhonda Loonsfoot, Mike Loonsfoot, and Susie, who's always cooking up some wonderful food there for our beautiful elders here in Grand Rapids. This year, in December, our foundation director treasurer, Kelly Spencer, and I were invited to attend the luncheon in Grand Rapids. Oh my goodness, the food was so good. And Gathering Thunder was honored to provide giveaway gifts, blankets and towels and sheets and linens and personal items. Oh my goodness, it was quite a giveaway that we had for, I think the estimate was 60 elders.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the year-end activity with the elders locally. But during the course of the year, we actually assisted with the Elder Meals on Wheel program here in Grand Rapids with Rhonda Loonsfoot and Susie. You know, we help a lot with the elders and the youth at Gathering Thunder. For you, Lily, what is it about helping the elders that stands out in your mind as something that takes top priority?
Well, I think in general, it's just about just giving them that care and love that they deserve. You know, they've met that stage in their life. You know, they carry so much wisdom, and we can learn so much from them. And I just think it's just a it's just a basic human right, I think, that they deserve, honestly. And so I'm always happy when we have projects like this because, you know, there's so many that we know that aren't taken care of, or for whatever situation, you know, that's not the case. But, you know, that gives them it warms their heart. And I could see those smiles and those pictures that you took with Kelly. And I mean, you know, they were just so happy.
Mm-hmm. It was a beautiful luncheon, and we were so happy to be invited and to sit with the elders and share stories. And it was really good. As my relatives out on Pine Ridge would say, it was wash day. It was really, really good. Another fun thing that we found ourselves able to assist with was the Native Women's Business Retreat award scholarship recipient. We were able to send Mariah Eldridge to the retreat in Santa Ana Pueblo in New Mexico. She is a local tribal woman who is also a birth doula. And yeah, she won the scholarship, and we received a request to help get her there from Michigan to New Mexico. And we were happy to assist with that. Mariah is she may even be the only Native American woman who is a birthing doula here in West Michigan. She helps lots and lots of babies make their way here to the earth plane in a good way. So congratulations to you, Mariah. We were so happy to be able to assist you. And
how wonderful.
It is. It's just, I love that we're able to help individual people as well as communities. It's such a great feeling. Good work. In September, for either the third or the fourth year, since the inception of the Red Road Sobriety Walk, Gathering Thunder Foundation was a sponsor of this annual Walk for Sobriety. So chi miigwech to all of our friends at the Red Road Sobriety Walk and Circle. At Gathering Thunder, you know, part of keeping the culture alive and spirituality and the people alive is to make sure that we're also participating in things that keep the people healthy, such as the Sobriety Walk. And that typically happens once a year. Oftentimes, it's the same time as the Grand Valley American Indian Lodge traditional powwow. And that is another thing that Gathering Thunder has a great deal of joy in helping with our local powwows, isn't it, Lily?
Oh my God, yes. Mm-hmm.
The Grand Valley American Indian Lodge is some group of people that we have been assisting for many, many years to make sure that they have a sacred drum group. And we also helped with the Heart Traditional Powwow, honoring the Elders Powwow this year in September. As far as traditions go, and cultural traditions, which all across Native North America, Turtle Island, depending on the tribe, there can be many different cultural expressions or experiences or traditions. within each and every tribe with different clans. It's very varied here. A lot of people think that Native America means one way, one tradition, one culture. And it's so, I mean, there are over 500 registered tribes, let alone tribes that are not registered with the federal government. And they're all different and beautiful and unique. But we feel really inspired to help keep those cultures alive. Lily, you come from a very beautiful family steeped in culture yourself. For your family and for you personally, how important is it to be able to keep the cultures and the gatherings alive?
Oh, I would say it's, we're at a time, I think that it's just so important. And because, as we mentioned earlier about our lovely elders, I think, they are the ones who carry the wisdom for a lot of us, at this whatever stage of your life, but especially for those younger generations. And, and that's why I love what we do here at Gathering Thunder, because, it hits all our mission points, our mission, because, it's just so important. If we don't have that, people can be lost. People can feel like they don't know their people or their tribe. And so, from my experience, I'm still learning about mine because, again, I think I'm a prime example of how some of the older generations have already passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be, a dying thing it's dying. And, and just like the language that we also, the language preservation initiatives we have or that we participate or sponsor, I'm so happy for that because it keeps it alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at Gathering Thunder, we've been so honored to help sponsor locally the Ojibwe traditional language instructor who teaches at the Native American Education Program. We've helped over the years with the travel expenses for her to come from Detroit to Grand Rapids to help keep the Ojibwe language alive and well. And over the years, we've also been very supportive of the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota Language Summit in Rapid City, South Dakota. It's so important to keep the languages alive. And again, there are so many languages and dialects within the languages of the tribes and the clans and the Tioshbayes, as they say with my elders out west. And keeping each and every one of those alive means that the songs can stay alive, the stories stay alive, and the richness of the language. So helping the youth to learn the language, or sometimes helping the adults learn the language that was lost to their youth, either through the boarding schools, like my older sisters, all of them went to boarding schools. And preserving those languages is so important to us, and we're honored to be able to assist with that as well. Gathering Thunder Foundation also assists in the missing and murdered Indigenous women and G2S, Two-Spirited People, programs in the United States. And this year we also helped to sponsor the Domestic Violence Awareness Walk that happened. The LW5 Spirit Walk 2022 to bring awareness for domestic violence in Native communities, Indigenous communities here. It's a reality, and it's not a pretty reality. So we go from helping to sponsor winter parties to helping to sponsor MMIW G2S work and domestic violence awareness. That walk from Minnesota all the way to the nation's capital was long and it was arduous, and we were honored to be able to be part of that. Lily, from your perspective as our board of directors director, when I asked you, how do you feel about supporting the longest walk for domestic violence awareness, you immediately said yes. I didn't even get the whole question out of my mouth and you said yes. Why is that?
Well, I think you hit it right on on the nose about, that this is just it's not a pretty subject, and this type of subject in general makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But I think with us using our platform to advocate and support walks like this, to promote, awareness is such an important thing, because otherwise people don't know or are not aware. And so, and there's just so many people that are, that don't have a voice. So for us to give someone a voice, I'm all about that. So, yeah, and just, I know we've all may know somebody who's experienced domestic violence in their life, and so it can pull at the heartstrings. But I'm glad that we're able to do it, help in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Gathering Thunder Foundation. One thing about us is that we help in little ways, we help in big ways, we help individually, we help communities, we help to make sure that children have reading books. Native language reading books when we are asked to do that. We're passionate about that, about the youth and making sure that they grow up knowing their cultural history and their languages and the beauty of the culture and the spirituality and all of those kind of things. And if anyone knows us at Gathering Thunder, you know that we are a huge supporter of Gather Our Children Home in the Porcupine District of Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. Each month we make sure that the electricity stays on at the house. And currently, from what Barbara Dahlknife has shared, there are 14 youth at Gather Our Children Home. And sometimes we are asked to help buy new furniture or clothing or, things that come up, gas money to get a child to the hospital, etc. All those kinds of things come up because this is day-to-day life. We're a small foundation, but because we are all volunteer, none of us makes a dime from being part of this organization. Every penny goes to where it needs to go. And thank you to everyone who helps assist at Gather Our Children Home. It takes many organizations, such as Gathering Thunder, to help make sure that those children have a safe space to go to each and every day of their lives. As things are being worked out in their own homes. Lily, you've been to Gather Our Children Home with me many times.
That's right. And it's just, it's a calling, and bless those people that, take care of those children, because it's a huge, huge undertaking, but they do it with all the love in the world.
They sure do. And speaking of that, today is the 27th annual Fort Robinson Breakout Spiritual Run. Luncheon on Pine Ridge, and every year Gathering Thunder for the past many, many years has helped to sponsor the meal that the youth runners and their sponsors, their chaperones, enjoy as they're passing through the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Yesterday, my sister Barbara called to say that the volunteers to create the breakfast / lunch for today were getting ready to make, I believe, breakfast burritos for the runners. Each year for the past 27 years, there's a gathering at Fort Robinson, Nebraska, where Chief Dahlknife and his people were held by the government, and where Chief Dahlknife led the breakout to make the run or the pilgrimage back to their homeland on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation in Montana. And during the course of that breakout, all of those many, many, many years ago in history, they made their way through the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, where the Lakota people helped them stay safe. And so that is part of the route that the youth and their chaperones take every year. It's a 400-mile relay run, 400 miles. And as they pass through Pine Ridge, they are served a wonderful meal, and Gathering Thunder is honored. Many years I have helped to prepare that meal, and serve that meal. And Lily, I know that you've participated as well in so many of the things that we do. We're all hands on deck here at Gathering Thunder Foundation. And so they're on their way back up to the Northern Cheyenne Res in Montana. So if everyone could keep a good thought, raise a prayer for all of the youth and their chaperones as they're making their way through the frigid cold. Dakota 38 is another ride that we have helped over the many years in remembrance of what happened in Mankato, Minnesota, all of those years ago. Historically, there are so many memorial rides and runs that we help to keep alive, and in an effort to help with ancestral healing and wellness. I think that's a really important thing, to stay connected to the ancestors, don't you, Lily?
Oh, absolutely. And I just admire all those young people and what they do. And I know we both can proudly say that we know that their ancestors are proud of them.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Moving into 2023, all of those things and so much more. We only have a certain amount of time that we can talk this morning, so I'm talking fast.
But before we wrap up, Dana, would you also mention about our efforts in the animal department?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Gathering Thunder Foundation believes that we need to honor all of our relatives, Mitakoye Oyasi, Mitakuyasin, and we do that. So sometimes we send out shipments of cat food or dog food to various places where the elderlies need a little extra help in feeding their companions. But we also help with the Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary in sponsoring the wild horses there. And locally, Hidden Creek Stables, where Gathering Thunder over the years and going into the future holds Horse Nation Day, so that the Native youth here locally can experience spending time with the Horse Nation, with the horses. This year, this summer, we had ceremonies here at my home, and it was really great fun to bring Ivan Looking Horse out to the stables to pray with the horses and to be with my horses that are there. But I want to give a great big shout out to Cheryl Esquivel. Cheryl runs the rescue and the stables for those of us that board our horses there. And she and her beloved husband, Rolando Esquivel, who passed away not even a year ago, they take so much joy in having the youth come and experience the healing nature of the horses. And we will continue that program going forward. Cheryl has pledged that we are welcome to have the youth out at the stables with the horses. And I just want to take a moment to honor the spirit of Roland, who had so much fun and just pure joy in hosting the young ones and their chaperones out at the stables. He was a wonderful man, a Vietnam veteran, a wonderful husband and father, an advocate for animals, in particular, the Horse Nation. So thank you, Lily, for bringing that up. All of the things that you and I have talked about, we will be supportive again in 2023. And I just wanted to mention briefly about the Gwen Phelps England Scholarship Fund. We have a scholarship fund of $1,000. If you are a student who is looking to further your education, not only at college or university, but in a technical school or a certification program, please check it out at gatheringthunderfoundation.org and apply. The coming year, we will award our very first scholarship that is named after one of my aunties from Georgia who passed away, who was very, very passionate about assisting Native America and Native Americans. So please go and check that out. Education is so important, not only, again, at college and university, but also at technical schools. I think we all agree on that, don't we, Lily?
Oh, my God, yes. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. new chapter for us.
Yeah, me too. So I think that's kind of a wrap for what happened in 2023, 2022. All of that happened, and it'll be happening again in 2023, and so much more, because things come in now and again that I don't even have on the list in front of me. And I also want to give a great big shout out and thank you to all of our supporters and our donors and our volunteers and our volunteer board of directors. We all do it for the love of helping, period. We aren't paid for it. The payment comes in the joy of doing and knowing that we're making a difference. What would you add to that, Lily?
Oh my God, I would just say hooray, because I so agree with you. You said it very well.
And so with that, everybody, thank you. Thank you, Lillian, for being the director of the board of directors. Thank you to Kelly Spencer, our treasurer extraordinaire, Vice President David Fix, our youth director, David Sturkin, Tara Rietberg, our secretary, Delmarie Dullknife Bradfield for being our tribal liaison, and all of our advisory circle members and our elder advisor circle member, Della Badwound, who heads up our language preservation department at Gathering Thunder. Thank you, each and every one of you, for all that you do wherever you happen to be. And with that, thanks, everybody. Check it out at gatheringthunderfoundation.org. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day.